You know, the only thing bad about this little camera, if there's anything bad about it, is you can't tell when I'm standing on this side of the camera, you can't tell where it's pointing. I may be high, low, in the middle, or whatever. Maybe too close, too far away, whatever. I don't guess it matters. This is just YouTube, and I wonder if you can tell that I've lost some weight. I hadn't mentioned that on any of my YouTube videos, but I kind of went on a self-imposed diet a few months back, 3 or 4 months back. I got up pretty heavy there for a while, as you can tell from some of my videos. Punchy jaws. And I got up to around 235 pounds there for a while. I guess I was approaching 240. And so it's about time, my age and everything, to lose some weight. So I've lost 30 pounds so far. I'm down to about 204, and I'm going to try to go down to about 185. So if I look a little slimmer, that's the reason. I feel better. It's better. And I just cut back on the calories. Instead of eating 2 plates, I eat 1 plate. Instead of eating ice cream, I eat salad. And no strict diet other than just knowing eat less and it'll be better for you. And that works. I got a little bit more exercise, I guess, but not a lot more. But mainly just watching calories, counting calories. I was trying to keep my calories under about 2,000, 1,700 calories a day. It worked out pretty good. But anyway, I don't know how much you heard or saw while I was out in the kayak there, but I was saying I'll just go ahead and retire and do this every day. And I was going to blame it on you, Owen, if I get in trouble for coming out here and wanting to retire. So I'm going to say it's Owen's fault. That's okay. I know this video is stretching out, and what YouTube got a limit now of about 10 minutes, I think. They've up there gigabyte. So you can use HD videos, gigabytes. I think some of them are 10 gigabytes now, which is a pretty good video. But the time limit is still 10 minutes, so I've got to either cut this thing probably into 2 parts or do a lot of chopping on it, editing. But you know, YouTube still means a whole lot to me. It did from the first time I gave Peter Geriatric 1927 over in Britain an answer to his video, got me started, and it still means a lot to me. And I've thought, and I want to do it if I can ever get, you know, I've told you I'm almost finished inside of my house, still got some outside work to do. But I've kicked around the idea of trying to do a daily or maybe a semi-daily show, if you want to call it that. And I enjoy it so much, and people seem to enjoy it. So I may try to get around and do that. I don't know what kind of format it'd be, other than me just talking to the camera like I always have. People seem to enjoy that for whatever reason. I don't know why anybody would want to watch me down here in Alabama, but they do, and I enjoy it too. Might say something about the boats. You know, one of the things that people ask about is, why do you call yourself your channel name or screen name? And mine is Mess About 1. And that comes from a children's book called Wind and the Willows. I think I've told this before. And that children's book is about some little critters, little creatures that live along a creek. And I can't remember if it's the mole or the muskrat or whatever. Love boats. He loved boats, and he introduced some of the other critters to loving boats also. And he gave them advice, and it says it on my channel page if you've ever read it. It says that there's nothing. He said absolutely nothing so worthwhile doing is messing around and just messing about in boats. So I thought that was a good night. Since I love boats and I love messing about in boats, I guess I could be Mess About, and I'm the first Mess About, so I Mess About 1. And if you ever have a chance, you might want to read the little book. It's real cute. I think there was a movie made of it. Wind and the Willows is the name of it. I don't know who wrote it. It's old. It goes way back. But he was right. He said you don't have to do anything in particular. There's always plenty to do or nothing to do. But the main thing is you just do what you want to do when you're on the boat. You just get out and mess about in a boat. And that's I guess that's my theme for my midlife, late life, whatever, is mess about. Now I still have a full-time job, and a fairly demanding job, and a fairly technical job. But if you come down to what I love outside my family and friends, it's this right here, the river and the boats and messing about. And I think all of us need those things, that we can just get out and find a thing that we enjoy doing and do it. Life is too short. And I didn't mention to you, haven't mentioned it because I sometimes don't tell personal things on here, but I made a video way on back, and I guess this is a good time to tell it. I made a video way on back, I think I called it riding with Mr. Ben, which is my dad. This has been 2 or 3 years ago. He was about 90 years old then. He lived to be 93. He passed away about 6 months ago, back in February 7th of this year. And that's been it'll be 6 months this month. So I did lose my dad along the way. I don't usually tell things like that on YouTube, but I guess you ought to know. We've been in the process since then. I was up there today working on getting ready to sell his house and some of his belongings, things like that. It's always hard when you lose a parent. Lost my mother many years ago. I mean, back 30 years ago. She died young, died when she was about 60, younger than me. And of course my dad lived to be healthy, lived to be up to his last day very healthy, to be 93. I guess that's where I get a love of the boat and the river myself, is from him. He always loved to fish. He's an excellent fisherman. He loved old boats, loved fooling in the river. In his younger days, some of his best memories of his young days are him and his dad on the river, floating down the river and spending time on the river. They lived on the river, nearby the river, at a riverside farm before TVA backed all this water up. And boy, I've got long-winded in this. I know it's going to be a two-parter, but you know what, I've really enjoyed it. And I hope it's all recorded, and I hope I'm kind of in line with the camera. But the sun is about 1 hand above the horizon now. When it came out here, it was about 2. So by the time I get around and get the anchor up and motor back to the dock, get tied up, get everything put away, it'll be getting close to dark. But Owen, thank you again for this suggestion. It's a very good one. And if any of the rest of the viewers, I've gained quite a few viewers lately. I think the count now is up, and I know some still don't watch, maybe don't have counts, up around, it's under 800, approaching 800, and usually on the video I'll get maybe 300, under 400 views. But any of you that have suggestions or questions, I'd be glad to entertain your